Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hasbro is bringing back M.A.S.K, and we have all the proof we need. Let's talk about it. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dude, we've got some really exciting news to talk about this week. There's been sort of like this slow buildup over the last year of Hasbro making a push kind of subtly and maybe not so subtly to bring back M.A.S.K, our favorite cartoon from the 80s, Mobile Armored Strike Command. If you're unfamiliar, then why are you watching this channel? Because M.A.S.K is, pretty much, the epitome of like the 80s cartoons and toys and the stuff that this whole channel is about. These little guys, in like their little 1/18th scale, if that's what they even were, I don't even remember, but these little like 2.5-inch action figures. These are some of the ones that I just, pulled out that I happen to have close by. Basically they were these heroes and villains that drove vehicles that transformed into other types of vehicles. And they wore masks, and their masks had superpowers and could do really cool stuff. And man, I would love to see M.A.S.K make a comeback in any form, in any way. Whatsoever. But it does seem like Hasbro has been slowly making this push over the last year, and we're going to look at some of the things that have sort of transpired. First and foremost, there's this really awesome toy company that I love. I've got a lot of their products. I'd love to have more of it, called Ramen Toy. You guys have probably heard them, seen them. I did a review of their Red Gullwing, which was a M.A.S.K tribute vehicle and action figure set that came out last year. But I just recently found out, by the way, that Ramen Toy stands for Retro Artistic Modern 80s Nostalgia. I read that and I thought, holy crap, I never knew that. That's amazing. So amazing. Good on you, Ramen Toy. And the guys over there, Ace and all the guys who work over there, they're a great team and they make a really good product. But last year, they released the Red Gullwing, which was, of course, Thunderhawk and with Matt Tracker. And we did a review of it here on the channel. You can check that review out now if you haven't seen it. But they were hit with a cease and desist from Hasbro per their own Facebook page. Here it says, first, the Red Gullwing is sold out. As such, the listing is taken off the website. At the same time, we received a cease and desist from Hasbro in June. This would have been June of 23. And the removal of the listing on the website also ties in with compliance with Hasbro, as well as their cease and desist. So Ramen Toy first made this version of the Red Gullwing and had the kind of like the artwork and the deco like tampoed on. It came with like a mini comic. It had some really cool like Kenner style artwork packaging. But a part of like Hasbro's cease and desist to Ramen Toy was they decided to put the Red Gullwing out again, but this time it had to have some changes. So here's some things they did to kind of work in with the compliance of Hasbro. It has totally different box art with no resemblance to the original Kenner, separate sticker sheet for all the decos, and now this is just a red card that you get, and it does come with no comic book. So yeah, that's kind of weird that, Hasbro would go after a company that's making a tribute version of a M.A.S.K vehicle and figure 30 years after the show has even been around. There's no new toys and no new entertainment and no new cartoons. So why would they go after them, right? Like, I mean, companies cease and desist people all the time for, what they perceive to be infringement upon their original IP or, trademarks that they hold. So sure, of course, that makes a lot of sense that they would. But I mean, it's a 30-year-old pretty much dead product line. Why go after them, right? Then just like a few days after this, like right when this was posted. So this was posted in July of 2023, but they were asked about the cease and desist, happened in June. Okay, so the very next month, so in July when this post went up, we had San Diego Comic-Con, and Hasbro had a little pop-up little shop there called Hasbro's Vault. And what did they show? They showed a massive display of nothing but M.A.S.K figures and M.A.S.K playsets, seemingly for no reason at all. Just, hey, here's some cool stuff that you might have forgotten about, wink, wink. Odd timing, coincidental timing, maybe, but still cool nonetheless. And I think that's pretty neat. But here is the kicker. Here, this happened this past week, and we need to discuss it. Hasbro has filed for a new trademark. To update their trademark with the Office of Trademark and Licensing and Patents in the U.S., and specifically for M.A.S.K Mobile Armored Strike Command. And it says specifically here for entertainment services, namely an ongoing animated series for children featuring children's entertainment provided through television, satellites, radio, audio, video, electronic media, computer networks. So it doesn't specifically mention toys or action figures, but as longtime viewers of this channel, people who grew up in the 80s, as you know, collector of retro action figures, cartoons were nothing but commercials for the toys. And so, yes, if they are filing a patent or a trademark to renew this, to bring back the cartoon, that must mean we're going to be getting new figures. So, I'm excited. I love M.A.S.K. I still have some of mine from when I was a kid. But what does this mean? What does this mean for M.A.S.K moving forward? So it does seem like it, at the very least, we potentially could be getting a new cartoon. But if that does accompany a toy line, if that is going to come down the road, then what are we going to get? Are we going to get a full mass retail, 1/18th scale, if that is indeed what it is? If not, please don't skewer me in the comments. Are we going to get the whole line of vehicles and figures to go along with them? I don't know. I don't know if that can hold up in the retail space. I don't know if there is space on shelves for, small, large, medium vehicles, whatever. I don't know. Does this mean that they'll be strictly sold on Hasbro's website and it will be a whole line of vehicles? That's one possibility. Another possibility is that we could just be getting 6-inch action figures with the possibility of vehicles down the road, starting off small with like the motorcycle, like the Condor or the Piranha. That's a very real possibility. I would take it. I would take a 6-inch scale M.A.S.K action figure line with just the characters, some special effects, some masks, extra heads and hands. That would be awesome because I don't really have the display space for, 30 to 40 vehicles. I just don't. But for me, M.A.S.K is not M.A.S.K without the vehicles. It's really not the same. You got to have those transforming vehicles. That's what makes M.A.S.K M.A.S.K, I think. So I think potentially, I would rather see like the smaller scale with the vehicles, but we do have another option here. Another option, and this could be really cool, is that instead of a full 6-inch line of figures and instead of a full, like 2.5-inch line of figures and vehicles, what we could be getting is possibly a HasLab. We could be getting a HasLab that has Boulder Hill as a massive updated playset with Rhino. And, all the accessories and characters that it comes with, because Rhino is like sort of like the quintessential like M.A.S.K vehicle. It's one that really represents the toy line as a whole. And I think that would be really cool. They could launch a HasLab. It would probably be, $500 or $600 and gauge interest and how much interest there is in a whole M.A.S.K toy line. And if that HasLab does well and it gets funded, then maybe we could see them do a whole line of action figures and vehicles. I don't know. These are just my thoughts, but I did, I had come across some of I remember all of these little nuggets of information about M.A.S.K throughout last year that was kind of interesting. And then with this new filing of a new trademark renewal, I thought, man, this is a perfect time, you know, maybe we'll learn something this year at San Diego Comic-Con. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we're not having a toy fair this year. Is that right? So maybe it won't be announced at Toy Fair. Maybe it'll be at San Diego Comic-Con, where Hasbro will probably come out and go, hey guys, remember when we showed off M.A.S.K last year at the Vault? Wink, wink. Yeah, so I think that would be really cool. That's just my take on it. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think Hasbro's doing here alongside of this new cartoon for M.A.S.K, and what you would like to see. Would you like to see like the little tiny little characters like this with the vehicles come back, or would you rather have a 6-inch scale, or would you rather bank everything on a HasLab and see how it goes? Let me know in the comments down below and let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.